All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Total Annihilation Replays. Today, I have got something special for you. I actually have a new series here, a new idea we're going to try out on the channel. And this is actually going to be a special thing that I've got, something I dug up, and I'm happy to share with you guys. This is going to be a 10-game series between myself and N1 Aprox of the number one clan. These games happened in the summer of 2009, and best of 10 games were just played to basically you demonstrated who was the best. The rules of the setting were each person gets to pick 5 maps. And you play 10 games, and whatever the final score is at the end of those 10 games is the end of the challenge. What's so great, actually, what I really like about this particular format is it means you have to beat the other person on what they think is their best. There is no random or wild card map at the end to do a tiebreak. You can end up with a tie at the end of it. And in order for you to win, you actually have to beat them where they think that they're best. So this is this was played in 2009. I want to say that video game streaming and that sort of stuff was just starting to creep into things. So even though he and I were some of the best players at the time, this wasn't really played for big time clout or so other people could be amazed at our skills. This was played just as a little bit of trash talking and let's see if we can beat each other on each other's maps. So. The funny thing about this one is, of course, no best of 10 or any kind of challenge on TA at the time would be complete without some kind of trash talk. So I have this right here. Aprox, after I said, we need a little wager. What are we going to bet on this? And then, basically whoever wins would get to get one thing other. So, for example, against me and the RVD best of 10, I think I forget exactly what our over-under was or what we said the line would be. But if he won a certain number of games of the best of 10, then I would have to stop using full stops when I typed to him on the internet, because he always got mad that whenever I typed, I would write a complete sentence with a capital letter and a period at the end of it. And he'd be like, "No one does that." And I'm like, "Well, I'm someone and I do that." Anyway, so of course, Aprox thought it'd be funny to put up a thread in the TA zone boards called a wager. And he says, Postal wanted a wager. He needs more drive for that best of 10 he's doing versus me. So my question is, how bad will he lose? So you can see our options in this amazing poll are that Postal will lose 9-1 to Aprox. Or he will lose 8-2 to Aprox, or he will lose 7-3 to Aprox. So those are your choices. There is no Postal might win, or it's going to go 5-5, or even 6-4 to Aprox. No. Aprox was so confident in his ability to defeat me that he said these are the only options that are necessary for this poll. So of course we can see what was the banter like yet. Tip 2 sheet comes in and says. He voted at 8-2, assuming that Postal is core. And of course, I'm Pol. Of course, I'm a core. Of course, Venom has to pop in, and so I say, I don't know, they're both pretty terrible in his characteristic way. And then there's this guy right here, Postal, says, I came out and I said, I'm going to say 5-5. I'm going to pick Darkseid every time. And I say, seriously, though, it'll probably be 2-8 in favor of Aprox. So if I win 3 games, what do I win? And this, of course, me, I do this. I tend to set the bar ridiculously low and, in an attempt to lure my opponent into a false sense of security. The mind games happen in and out of the game. And so I say, and thanks, Venom, for his vote of confidence. And Venom replies, no problem. I voted 7-3. Andrew, who is RVD, says he picked the 7-3. And Andy, who is currently playing 0K, he decided he needed to chime in and laugh at Venom's comment. And Draken, of course, comes in and says that 7-3 is allowing for my very extra silly map choices in the language of 2008. Oh, sorry, it was 2008, not 2009. So yeah, there we go. Now don't scroll back there. Matt just posted a spoiler, so we'll get to that part of the thread when we get to it in the series. But basically, these were the predictions of the trash talk that led us into the first game, and the first game was Aprox's pick. And so, for those who are familiar with Total Annihilation, you're probably happy to see that the very first game here is in fact happening on Gods of War, and what I said is, I said, you would pick this map, because I know that I am terrible at this map. I do not play it nearly as much as everyone else does. And Aprox says he's been playing Forged Alliance too much. And he said he was actually inspired to, I asked Aprox if he's top 10 in Forged Alliance yet. And he says he might misclick Tum because the clicking is opposite. Aprox says he's not going to be top 10 by a long shot. And I call him a slacker, wondering how Aprox says the highest he got was ranked 30 or so in Forged Alliance. So if those of you who played back in 2008, you might remember a Rebun or Aprox appearing on the scene. He said he just needs tons of experience, and I said out of 100,000, that's not so bad. Although I don't know if Forged Alliance had that many active players on the ladder. He says, yeah, indeed. And of course, he was very good. I'm not going to say he wasn't. So, yes, he said, Aprox said he actually picked this map because he saw Ace Jackson and RVD doing it. So, I say it makes me wonder if there was any money in games if we'd be rich, because he was top 30 and then Aprox says yes. Of course, that's really funny coming from 2008. That's just a flashback to the past. There was no money in games unless you played StarCraft in Korea, and we all knew that. So you can see for Gods of War here, I'm going air first. I'm actually picking up energy, and I'm going bomber. Aprox is also going air first. I know that to win on Gods of War, I pretty much have to be aggressive. Because I'm just not particularly good at this map. So, but yes, of course, if there were any money in games, we'd be extraordinarily wealthy. So this time we were just playing for the passion of it. Aprox says I'm really not feeling like playing right now. And I say, then hopefully I'll win. This would actually be quite the coup for me if I were able to pick up a win on Gods of War, which is Aprox's pick. So you can see I've actually reclaimed these plants right here for energy. And I say, never mind the fact that this is my worst map. Aprox, on the other hand, he built 2 mexes and more wins. Aprox says BS. I can see the next thing I'm going is a Valkyrie, because I intend to very likely reclaim. First bombing run. So this is just a little over a 2-minute bomber. That's not too bad. Aprox is going aircon first. So that's what you want to do, although really he's very, very slow here on this first aircon. And we'll see how good my bombing is. Not good at all. I missed this mex. I see that this is going up. As you can see, he's actually already got a nice little defensive L. That missile tower comes up really before, I bet I drop it here. Yep, I get the missile tower, but I lose the bomber. That's really a bad way to start. I've already reclaimed to vehicle at this point. He's still air, so we can go aggressive. I say, well, that sucked. And then, in fact, it did. 1 mex, a pair of wins, and a missile tower. Certainly not a good trade. I don't have my, my vehicle up at this point. One of the things about these best of 10s, and one of the reasons why I'm doing this is, I've been showing you some top games from back in the day, but you're probably wondering, some of you might be wondering, what does it look like, if you're just, chugging around on Warzone and we're all making fun of each other in, 2008 internet language. Here you can see I off-screen my Valkyrie. I don't know what I'm actually up to. He says my wind is +5 the whole time. He's complaining because his bomber's not coming out. He's using his aircon that he got out to pick up the energy that he needs. So he's got more metal than me at this point. And he is, although now I've got 2 ground cons. So it's not, as long as I can reclaim. Okay, so there we go. So I got 1 missile tower up. Normally the strategy here, kind of the dominant meta at the time, was to go 4 cons with vehicle and then go air. I didn't even nano block that. You see, I'm trying to quickly put out more missile towers. He gets the missile tower and drops the bomber. So he's got a fighter out. He has his scout out too. He's actually looking to probably drop that that Valkyrie that I've got. So you can see I'm just trying to keep it close to the edge of the screen to make it more difficult for him to do that. So I've gone 3 vehicle cons at this point. Aprox is still air, and I figure, okay, well I can outbuild him. He says I hate the FA-TA switch, again with FA being a right click interface, whereas TA is left click. So he's probably doing a few things backwards, especially if he was playing all of his games. You can see, I can see what he sees here. This has already been, he's gone and he's picked up the rocks. So I see these little burn marks from that. And he actually has his scout and his fighter protecting that. And I'm going C next. See if this comes up. Okay. He scouts. Next bomber is ready. We can speed this up. Oh, we do have it sped up. Okay. Incoming bomber. He's got a nice little run. I don't have it nanoblock from this side. And doesn't quite, it shows a hit on this, 2 hits on the screen, which should have been enough to destroy it, but didn't quite get it. So that's actually lucky for me. He didn't get much for it. Now I've got my searchers out, so I'm able to pick up his aircon. Hit that bomber a little bit before it comes in. He only gets 1 of the metal extractors. And you can see I'm flying a con over to this island. I've got my skeets over here to provide my searchers to provide protection for it. See, I'm not producing anything out of the shipyard. The reason why I stopped it was because I was getting this letting this metal extractor finish. So I only have 2 cons on this island now, 1 missile tower protecting it, and he's got another bomber on the way. And you see his commander is just busy working on it. Because he picked up all that metal, he can now easily drop his second plant right here. So I'm ahead by 1,000 metal at this point. But he's got these bombing raids coming in. You can see he's doing a great job just keeping me cleaned off. I'm low on energy at this point. I've only got the 3 wins, now even just 2 wins left, and no metal. This is a wind I dropped here to show to demonstrate the wind speed. You can see it's at 18 right now, according to this. My commander is back on land. My sea facility is stopped. He hasn't expanded to any of the other islands yet, except you can see there he goes. He's got his first con going to the top island, which is nice. These 2 mexes are really close together. I'm not air. I can't threaten them. So my searcher is just trying to stop him. My commander coming to clean up and rebuild, which is really just what needs to be done at this point. Searcher shoots something down, and he says, "I'm so off right now." I think he may have lost his Valkyrie. I say, "You're still winning," and now he's going C. And I say, "Don't worry." And, yep, Aprox is C. And okay, so there you go. He's got his, this. Now, he's not having his cons help build any bombers, although maybe that's what this is going in right here to do. So he's been kind of unmolested on his shore. And I see that he's C. If only I was right over here, and he's going to be dropping his, he wants to try and contest this island right here. He comes flying in, he manages to sink this. Now, I should see him on radar here, and I do. Now, this is actually hitting. I'll get this out of the way. His bomber scouts those, and he comes in to bomb the mexes. Drops the bomber, gets 2 wins. My comm is idle right now. That is not good. So, and he escapes with his con. He realizes that I've got control of that. He's coming up to put pressure up top. I have taken over. I'm making a move for the peanut at this point. But he has just a bigger, my forces, because I've been trying to protect myself from air using the searchers, they're all kind of spread apart. So you can see here now I've got a con in the water, trying to produce more skeets. But this con is most likely pretty doomed. And I see this, I really, really, really want to shoot this down. Got it. That was definitely a boon for me. So now things are looking okay. comes into bomb here. Nice little run by Aprox. My comms nanoblock comes in a little too late. You can see he's clearing off the air defense that I have sitting around. So I have this radar. I can see this giant blob of skeets, but I just don't have enough. You know, I tried to hide this guy in the corner. He still manages to find it. And now he's got a bomber coming in to contest, try and push me off this island. This con is in trouble. This is where I needed a nanoblock. Instead I did that. Fortunately, it managed to tag the bomber as it died. I'm at 11 metal now to his 15. He's got these metal spots going. I just built all these missile towers first. So I didn't really have nearly the same metal production as he does for the time that he has. Here you go. You can see he's dropping his con in. I don't have a radar, and I'm not able to see it this time, so we can start contesting the peanut. You can see I'm intercepting these. I realize at this point I can get a bigger force and try and cut off his reinforcements and place it in the middle here. You can see he's just working pretty hard at driving this con back. So at this point, it looks like the peanut is basically lost unless I can quickly hose out some more sea forces. He's switching to a Crusader. He wants to be able to shell my con, but he's got his against mine. The peanut's contested. I only just now got this bottom island capped. You can see Aprox is taking the lead in resource. And down goes my con. The peanut is his. I say bah. I catch a few of his skeets out right here. You can see while we're battling in the middle, he's bombing out my resources again. Just keeps up the pressure. See, I'm stalling on energy. I'm on 3 wins, and I just wasn't paying enough attention. I'm on 3 wins now, and just now I'm trying to build some titles to make up for my energy deficit. Titles, you can see here, they are at plus 20, and I say it is over. And you know, I'm not pulling his leg at this point. I just built relatively poorly, and now I have all my mexes wiped out on island. I'm at plus 5.7 to his 19. He's got nearly 3 times the resources. He controls these wreck fields. He controls the peanut, the top, and the right. And now he's coming to put pressure on the bottom island too. Okay. You can see this isn't the best use. You can see these Skeeter missiles are shooting here. That's why I bring my searchers in to just try and get this. This would be a nice little wreck field if I could win it. But he has a Crusader. 2 Crusaders. With the missile towers shooting at sea, I say, GG, go get ready for your game. He says, GG. Yeah, thanks. So I think he's got an FA game coming up. And the first of the best of 10 goes to Aprox. So not a bad game. I certainly could have played that better. You know, it's a lot easier to say in hindsight. And this is really kind of when I was playing pretty regularly. So I was, not necessarily at the best I've ever been, but I was in pretty good shape. And actually, I was pretty good in 2009, if I can be humble for this. As you can see, here's the final resources right here. You can see in the end, eventually, he was able to overtake me by a significant amount. He was able to parlay that into Crusaders, control the wreck fields. Even if I had just tried to turtle up on that island, I think that would have not ended in my favor. So in game 1 of the best of 10, we leave with a record being, from my perspective, 0-1. Aprox holding the lead. So the next game we will go into my pick, and so you guys will get to see the map choices that I had, and I did things as you saw according to Draken. My odd map picks, which you guys already know some of. So you get to see all those in action here and see how they played out in a situation like this. So I'm looking forward to this. Let me know what you guys think. Of course, as always, if you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so. And if you have, you can hit the bell, and then you can also leave a comment, leave a like, and let me know what you think. So All right, I hope you all enjoyed that one. I will catch you around for game 2 of the Postal versus Aprox best of 10. All right, everyone. Take care now. Bye-bye.